Hello, 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 Money Nation. Welcome to our safe space for all things money and to episode 11 in season 3 of the Hot Money Talks podcast. If you are just joining the community for the first time, permit me to do a little introduction. My name is Christine Isham, Paper the Money Mechanic, and I help you fix your finances. I am on a mission to equip African millennials and Gen Zs with adequate financial literacy, advice, and strategy so they can journey to financial freedom and live life purposefully on their own terms and to the fullest, because money is no more a barrier. I want you to live your best life. The Hot Money Talks podcast is a series of honest, open, and transparent money conversations that will guide you on your journey to financial freedom. Here on the podcast, we believe 100% that financial freedom is possible with the right set of knowledge, the right amount of time, and the right circle of people. Thank you for being here. Now, in our last episode, we learned about how to catch your money before it disappears. If you have not caught your money, then you need to go listen to that episode again. Today, we are talking about how to prepare yourself before investing, or how to prepare yourself for investing, any which way. You see, many people hear about investing, they get excited, and they want to immediately dive right in. And I totally understand it. You know, especially with social media, where every day you see someone posting about the massive returns they made on their stock portfolio. You see people posting about crypto, forex, real estate, and the rest of them. And then it feels like you're missing out if you don't join them. But you see, here's the truth. If you don't prepare yourself properly before investing, right, you can end up worse off, end up frustrated, end up broke, or even, like I said, worse off, losing the little money that you've worked so hard to save. So in this episode, I'm going to walk you through the key things that you absolutely need to put in place before you put your first naira or dollar or CDs or any currency into any investment. And I promise you that these steps are going to save you a whole lot of stress. So now, what is the first thing that you need? You need the right mindset. Now, let's be real, right? Speaking from a Nigerian perspective, a whole lot of Nigerians approach investing with a sharp mindset. You know, they just want to double their money in 2 weeks or 2 days or cash out in a month. But you see, that's not investing. That is gambling. Investing is a long-term journey. Why and how? Because it requires patience, it requires discipline, it requires consistency. I want you to think about investing like farming. You don't plant maize today and expect to harvest it tomorrow. You prepare the soil, you plant, you water, you weed, and then you do what? You wait patiently for the right season to reap. So if you're constantly chasing quick profits, you're going to fall into scams, into Ponzi schemes, into unsustainable ventures. And we've seen this before. MMM, CBEX, and so many others. People rushed in with the hope of overnight wealth, and they ended up losing their hard-earned money. So before you invest, check your mindset. Are you in this for the long haul? Can you wait, if necessary, 5 years, 10 years, 15 years? Can you stay consistent even when the market is low? Are you willing to sow time? That's the attitude that builds wealth. Now let's talk about the second thing, right? A steady source of income. Now you see, the second thing that you need while preparing yourself to invest is a steady source of income. And the simple truth is this: you cannot invest money that you don't have. Now I know some people are going to say, but money mechanic, I don't earn so much. Can I still invest? My answer is yes, but you need to stabilize your income first. Now, it doesn't have to be millions. Whether you have a 9-to-5 job or a side hustle, or you're a freelancer, or you run a small business, what matters is consistency. So even if it is 50,000 naira a month that you get in income. If it's coming in steadily, you can plan around it. So think about it. If you don't know how much is coming in every month approximately, how will you plan how much you should invest? That's like building a house without knowing how many blocks you have, right? So if your income is irregular, your first assignment is to strengthen that area. Find ways to increase or stabilize your earnings. Only then can you invest with peace of mind. And this is so true. Now, I understand many of us listening to this podcast are probably freelancers, business owners. And so, yes, I totally understand you because I'm a business owner, right? And I know that income does not come equally every month. But you see, even as a business owner, that is why you should have income targets. You should have a target of what income you desire to earn on a monthly basis. You should have a threshold. Right now, this will be able to allow you plan and set investment goals that you can work with. The third thing, which is critical in preparing yourself to invest, is to build an emergency fund. Now, let me explain to you why. Right? Imagine now that you invest all of your savings into real estate or stocks, and then suddenly you fall sick, or you lose your job, or your car breaks down. What are you going to do about it? You'll be forced to pull money out of your investments, and sometimes at a loss. In fact, sometimes you might not even be able to pull out your money at the time that you need it. Let's take, for example, real estate. Say you bought a land with all of your savings, right? And then an emergency happens. Selling a land off is not as easy as selling, I don't know, maybe a phone, right? Because it's not just an easy asset to sell. I think that's just the simple English. And so if you need money as a matter of urgency, your land might not be the best and quick thing that will give you that money, even as a distress sale. You may be lucky and get someone who buys, as a distress sale, but that is not the case every time. Now, why is an emergency fund important? Because it is your safety net. Yes, it's money that you keep aside, right? Ideally, this should be 3 to 6 months worth of your living expenses. You keep this money aside in a simple savings account or a high interest deposit account, a money market fund, right? But then this money now is not for enjoyment too. It's also not for investment. It is kept aside for emergencies. Why? Because emergencies are a part of life, right? So investing without an emergency fund is like driving from Lagos to Abuja without a spare tire. You might be fine, right? But what if something happens during the trip? You're going to be stranded. So before you rush into that investment, ask yourself, if an emergency happens today, do I have a backup plan? If the answer is no, pause and build that cushion of an emergency fund first. Now, the next thing that you need to prepare yourself to invest is knowledge. And this is one of my favorites, if not my top one, right? For me, I think it's the most important thing, investing in knowledge, right? So your goal should be to invest in knowledge first before you invest in anything else. So many people lose money, right? Because they don't understand what they're investing in. So they hear about cryptocurrency, forex, or some new opportunity, and then they throw in their money without asking, how does this thing even work? What are the risks attached? How do you actually make returns off of this? That's like entering an exam hall without reading the syllabus. If you don't understand it, you can't manage it. And if you can't manage it, you will likely, if I'm most likely, or most certainly lose money. So what do you do to salvage this? Take courses, attend workshops, read books, follow credible finance pages, listen to my podcast and other amazing finance podcasts. Ask questions. Don't be afraid to learn. In fact, if you're going to invest 100,000 naira somewhere, be ready to spend 5,000, 10,000, or whatever amount is needed learning about that investment. That knowledge will actually save you from costly mistakes. There's a quote I like to say, and it goes, knowledge makes you a better investor. Yes, you can quote me anywhere, quote by the money mechanic. Knowledge makes you a better investor. Knowledge makes you money and knowledge saves you money as well. All right. Next up is to set clear financial goals. Now, here's the thing here. Investing is not a one-size-fits-all approach. What's good for me might not be good for you, right? If your goal is to, say, maybe buy a car in 2 years, you can't invest in something that takes 10 years to mature. If your goal is retirement in 30 years, then why are you chasing short-term investments, right? Your goals guide your investment choices. And without them, you're just going to be following trends and wasting money. So ask yourself, why am I investing? Is it for short-term needs or long-term wealth? What's my risk profile? In other words, how much risk can I handle? Right? Can I handle ups and downs? Can I handle losses? Or am I looking just for something that is stable? I don't want my heart to be going bim, 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 bim. I just want something that is stable. I can go to sleep at night. You see, all of these questions are important for you to answer. You need to write them down. You need to be clear. That way you'll avoid distractions and you will invest in what is right for you. Finally, start small and start smart. You see, many people delay investing because they think they need millions and billions. But you see, there are so many platforms today that allow you to start your investment journey from the comfort of your home. You can even start with as little as 5,000 naira. Yes. You can start your mutual funds. You can start, investing in the stock market with as little as 5,000 naira. The goal is not to start big. It is to start early and to stay consistent. So even if you're just putting in 5,000 naira every month or 10,000 every month or 50,000 naira every month, right? What is most important is that habit builds over time. So don't despise your small beginnings. They are the ones that lay the foundation for the big wins that come in the future. So as we wind down today's episode, let's do a quick recap. Now, before you invest, you need the following things. First, the right mindset, a long-term and patient mindset. Secondly, you need a steady source of income. Thirdly, you need an emergency fund. Fourthly, you need knowledge about what you're investing in. Fifthly, you need to set clear financial goals. And the last but not the least, you need the courage to start small and start smart. Now, if you have all this in place, you'll not just invest randomly, you invest with what? Confidence. The goal here is not to chase quick riches, quick money. It is to build lasting wealth that will sustain you and even generations after you. I hope today's conversation has been something that, has hit home or has resonated with you. If you'd like to share your experiences or just your thoughts about this topic, let's continue the conversation in the comments, or you can send me an email at talktothemoneymechanic@gmail.com. All right. Thank you so much for listening to today's episode. If it hit home, don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to share it with a friend who is thinking about starting their investment journey. And don't forget to leave me a review in the comment section of this podcast so that others can see your endorsement and join the community of listeners who enjoy this podcast. If you have any burning questions that you would like me to answer on the podcast, please shoot me an email via talktothemoneymechanic@gmail.com and let me know your dilemma. Don't forget that new episodes of the Hot Money Talks podcast drop every Saturday, and you can listen to them on your favorite podcast platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and YouTube. Subscribe and follow the show on either of these platforms so that you are notified whenever an episode is released. Recommendations are powerful, so please tell your friends and family about this podcast so we can go on this journey together. To connect with me on other platforms, do well to follow The Money Mechanic at The Money Mechanic page on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok. I hope most importantly that you will take action on your finances today. Until next time, I'm sending you lots of love, lots of light, and a sprinkle of money in between.